Today's lesson is for beginners and intermediate learners. Today, we're going to talk about something really important: why you must read. This lesson is going to take your English from okay to good and from good to great. And the best part, it's not about memorizing boring grammar rules. It's about something simple but incredibly powerful: reading. A lot of my students ask me, why should I read an English book? I already go to spoken English classes, I do my homework, I watch English movies. Why do I need to read? And I always tell them the same thing: reading is the best way to improve your English. If you want to get better at speaking, writing, listening, and vocabulary all at the same time, then reading is the way to do it. Think about it. In the past, very few people went to university. For example, in 2006, only 1 out of 100 people attended university. But now, that number is 7 out of 100. Education is more important than ever before, and almost every job today requires a strong reading and writing skills. It doesn't matter if you work in an office, a restaurant, or as a mechanic. Reading is part of every job. If you want better career opportunities, improving your reading skills is a must. But reading isn't just about getting a good job. It's also the most effective way to improve your English. It helps with everything: speaking, writing, vocabulary, and even listening. When you read, you see how native speakers use words naturally, so you start using them naturally too. You learn how sentences are structured, which makes writing easier. You discover new words in context, so you remember them better. And if you read while listening to an audiobook, your listening skills improve as well. You don't even have to memorize grammar rules. Your brain just absorbs them as you read. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but reading is boring, and I get it. A lot of people think reading means studying textbooks or reading stories that aren't interesting, but that's not true. You should read books that are fun and exciting to you. Imagine this: you're reading a book and suddenly you forget that you're even studying. You're just enjoying the story, getting lost in it. And without even realizing it, your English is improving. That's called reading for pleasure. Reading because you want to, not because a teacher told you to. And guess what? There's actual scientific proof that reading for fun improves your language skills. Back in 1965, researchers in America did an experiment with a group of boys who were always getting into trouble at school. These boys didn't like studying. They even stole things. So the researchers gave them exciting books, like James Bond novels, and told them, you don't have to read them if you don't want to. And guess what happened? The boys did read the books. Some of them finished a book every 2 days. After 2 years, they took a test. The boys who read the books improved their reading and writing skills, and even started enjoying school more. And the boys who didn't read, their reading and writing actually got worse. This experiment proves that when you read books that interest you, your language skills improve naturally. But that's not the only experiment. A similar study was done in the Fiji Islands with students learning English. The researchers divided the students into 3 groups. One group took traditional English classes with grammar exercises and lessons. The second group practiced silent reading. They just read books in class. And the third group had books read to them. After a year, the results were clear. The students who read books, either silently or by listening to a teacher, improved the most. And the students who only studied grammar, they actually performed worse in tests. The same experiment was repeated in Singapore, and the results were the same. Students who read improved the most. So if you want to improve your English, you have to start reading. And here's something even more interesting. Reading fiction books can help you learn academic vocabulary. Two researchers, Rolls and Rogers, asked a simple question. If students read 1 million words of science fiction, will they learn important science words for university? The answer was yes. Another researcher, McQuillan, studied 22 novels and found that 85% of the words in them were from academic word lists, the same words needed to study at university. So if you want to learn useful vocabulary, reading fiction books is actually one of the best ways to do it. Now, when I first learned about these experiments, I wasn't sure if they were true. Could I really learn a language just by reading? So in 2017, I decided to test it myself. I had always wanted to learn Spanish, but instead of taking normal classes, I did something different. I set a goal to read 1 million words in Spanish, about 20 books. I chose books that I already loved, like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, but in Spanish. I also listened to podcasts, but I always read the transcripts so I could see the words while listening. I didn't try to memorize grammar or vocabulary. I just read, a lot. And the results? After 1 year, my Spanish was at an intermediate level. I could understand almost everything I read, listen, and follow conversations, and even speak naturally with native speakers. And the craziest part? I learned more in 1 year than most students learn in 5 years of traditional study. So if you're ready to start reading in English, here's my advice. Choose books that are easy and fun. The language expert Stephen Krashen says, only read things in English that you enjoy. So don't force yourself to read difficult books that you don't like. Find something that matches your level and interests. It could be comics, magazines, detective stories, romance novels, adventure books, anything that makes you excited to read. Even translations of books you already love are great. When a book is easy, you won't have to stop and use a dictionary every 2 seconds. Instead, you'll understand naturally and enjoy the process. Reading is one of the best things you can do to improve your English. It will help you speak and write better, expand your vocabulary and grammar, improve your listening skills, and give you access to better job opportunities. And most importantly, it's fun. So find a book that interests you and start reading today. The key is to enjoy the process. That's how you'll learn the fastest. See you in the next lesson.